Good morning. Glad you're here this morning. I want to talk to you about a spiritual victory. You know, when everything you pray and God comes through and you feel so good and everything's fantastic, and then something happens and you say, I didn't see that coming. Man, I just fell off the wagon. I just had this mountaintop experience and I'm in the pits of depression today. I feel like God has deserted me. I don't feel like anything's going right. What's happened? 1 Kings 18. Elijah. He was God's man. He stood on Mount Carmel and he did the job. And God brought down the fire. He opposed 850 false prophets. You know the story. And he was the hero of that day. He gave credit to God, obviously. But he was in the middle of doing a fantastic work for God. He stood against every single pagan of that nation. One man. What a man. What a victory. He was so confident. He said, you go. And he said, you get water and you douse this thing. And they doused it all those times. And then fire still came. And then he said, rain's coming. And he said, you go. It's coming. He said, you look. 7 times. Finally, he said, I see a cloud as a man's hand. He said, you better run because water's coming. And he outran Ahab's chariot. Now, this is a guy that, he was on top of it. But then he gets word that Jezebel is out to kill him. What happens? He arose and ran for his life. One woman. He stood against 850 false prophets, King Ahab, and everybody else, and he prayed that he might die. Take my life, Lord. It's better that I die than I live. How in the world did that happen? He forgot something. First of all, God tells him to arise and eat. Sometimes we're physically exhausted. You remember when Jesus used to say to his disciples, come apart and rest for a while? When you've had a spiritual victory, you need to get away for just a minute, even if it's in your mind, and start praising God for his incredible power, praising God for what he can still do. Now, had God changed from the God on the mountain? No. But in Elijah's eyes, he had. It's like this, I think, in the world of principalities and powers. The devil holds a little meeting. And he said, we lost a great victory there. We can't allow that to happen. You send some more demons after them. You make them depressed. You make them scared. You do whatever you've got to do. You dig into their childhood. You find out what it is. And you go after them with that. Because we can't afford another victory. Now let me ask you something. If God has all power, and you say, well, he was able to lift up a book just then, and that was an incredible victory. But this is a desk. How can he lift that up? That's in your mind. If he has ultimate power, he can lift up the planet. That desk is no problem for God. But you're thinking it's a problem for you. You're thinking, you know what? This is it. This is really it. And God told him, he said, go out and stand on the mountain. I don't have evidence that he ever did. He was standing in the entrance of the cave. God told him to get up on top of the mountain, change your perspective, get outside of where you are, and draw bigger lines and see how great God is. You say, well, I just got a bad diagnosis from the doctor. You don't start thinking the worst. You've had a spiritual victory, and now you found something that's going to make you doubt God. Don't go there. God is still all powerful. He was there before. He's still here now. He's not gone anywhere. God bless you. You have a great day.